Hello everyone, this is Cherise coming with your memory tip for the week. How exciting. I know you hear in the background my bird, and she loves to sing, and she loves to chirp. So you hear in the background making some noises, and so let's try not to focus on that. But I'm here to talk about memorization. Now remember, if you are a person that can memorize scripture without any problems, then this video is not for you. The videos I do and the tips I do are for those who struggle with memorization. They have a hard time memorizing scripture. And so I come up with these little tips just to help you memorize your verse. Now last week, you spent the 7 days reading your verse 3 times each day. You chose the time of the day that you read your verse, and you did it for 7 complete days. That's all you had to do. You just repeating yourself, reading it, looking at it, and reading it. Now some most likely started working on memorization and was able to accomplish it, and they're good. And that's wonderful. But those who struggle with memorization, I don't want you to, fall off. So I come up with these tips. So you take your time and memorize. You got the whole month to learn your verse. And if you have to take more time, you can. So our tip this week, it's coming from this, similar to what you do. You're going to continue to read your verse every day. You don't have to do it 3 times a day, but you're going to read it every day. However, this time, now we're going to add another component onto what you're doing. The first step for this week is you're going to write your verse 3 times a day. You're going to write it 3 times. The first 2 times when you write your verse, you're going to actually be looking at the verse as you're writing. So you're going to be doing copying, what we call copy work. You're going to copy a verse twice. Now, I don't want you to do them back to back. I want you to do 1 time, copy, okay, come back another point in time of the day, similar to what you were doing with reading it 3 times a day. Then you're going to copy again. On your second copy time, on the second time you copy it, you're going to interrogate the verse. What I mean by interrogating the verse is that you're going to look up words in that verse that you don't know or don't understand, or you think you might not know. You're going to go to your Hebrew or Greek dictionary, Strong's Concordance, or you're going to go to a Vines or Bible dictionary, and you're going to look the words up in context based on the scripture that you've chosen. You're going to write those definitions down, and then you're going to insert, when you're doing your second writing of the verse, it's your second time, you're then going to take your definitions and kind of insert them in parentheses next to the word that you looked up within the verse as you're writing out the verse. Remember, this is copy work. And so what you're doing is you're engaging the verse and giving us and trying to understand what the verse is about. This is an important step. So you're going to spend time doing that. That's going to take a few minutes for looking up your words. That's your second time. So choose the time that you want to do your second writing. Then when you go to do your third writing, this is your third writing. After you've done your first and your second, later on, you're going to come back and you're going to do your third writing. When you go to do your third writing, you're going to do this one from memory. You're not going to read it. You're not going to look at it. You're going to just write out the verse from memory. Now, let's say you write it and say, well, I don't know the verse yet. Write as much as you do remember. Then you're going to go back once you finish, and now you're going to look to see how well you're learning the verse, how well you've memorized this verse. And you're going to make corrections right there on the writing that you did. Now, this lets you know here, now you can do this in many ways. You can get some notebook paper, stick it in a notebook, and work that way. Or you can get a journal. Okay, I'm a journal person. I love journals. And you can use a journal where you can keep a record of your progress for the month, the process. You can do a journal. You can do it on an index card. You can do scrap paper. Okay, you can use your computer and type it out if you like. That's fine, as long as you're doing the typing. You're not copying and paste from one of the Bible apps and things. And no, that's not what we want you to do. I want you to actually engage the verse by writing it out. So you can write it in longhand or you can type it out, as long as you're doing it yourself. And then checking it. That's all you're going to do this week, working on your verse. And those who have learned their verse and they're good, this is definitely not the video for you. But those of us who struggle with memorizing, because I don't want you just to memorize and then lose it, because I know I teach, and we tend to memorize things just for the test, as they say. Just so that we got it, and once we got it, it goes away. But the idea of memorizing scripture is that it never goes away. Verses I learned when I was a child, when I was a teenager, that meant something to me, that I engaged with, I still remember. Many of the verses that I have learned is because I engaged and worked through those verses, and they meant something. So that way they come up when they need to, and I do remember them. So this is an important step for those who are struggling with memorization. I hope you're enjoying memorizing verse. I know I am. Now, I'm going to probably put mine in a journal. I have my card up here that I made last week. So last week, we read it and we made our memory cards on cardstock. Some made more than one because they put it in more than one place. And because I don't get out as often and go places, mine is on. I did mine a little different from last week. I made the memory card and right here, and I also did it on a picture and put it on my phone. Okay, because I tend to have my phone with me wherever I go and throughout the house. And when if I was practicing my verse and going over and reading, I would pull it out. So that's what I did. And I about got it down pat now. But I'm still going to interrogate the verse because I still go, even though I'm about to memorize my verse, I'm still going to go through the steps. Because, see, I don't want to just memorize it. I want to learn it. And it's a part of my heart. So it's like heart work. That's what I call it. I like doing heart work. So I'm going to most likely do my work in a journal. When I go to write it out 3 times and I go to interrogate the verse, it's probably going to be in a journal that I'm going to keep for scripture memory. Now, you already know about my other journal. That's the accountability journal. That's the one where I write the verses out the day I start working on the verse and check it off that I've learned it. And that's just an accountability journal so that when I go back over the years to practice, and we'll talk about that, my verses in review, I have a central place to look. And it's got a lot of pages, so it's going to be able to hold a lot. But this one's a little different, the journal I'm talking about. This is where I'm going to do all what I call heart work and my practice work for the month, each month. And I can go back and see the process before I add on another verse. Because I was tempted to add on another verse, but I don't want to do that yet. I want to interrogate the verse. So that's my tip. When you go up into our Facebook group, the tip should be there. It should be up by the time this video goes up. The tip will most likely, it'll have a separate post. I always put the tip on a separate post because not everybody looks at the video. So the tip will be there for our week 2 of memorization in August. This is our second week in August of a verse, interrogating our verses. Looking forward to seeing what you have learned. Please continue to share your progress on, up on in the Facebook group. How you coming? How much you've learned of the verse. Share with us. Like I said, I've almost learned the entire verse. I think I have it. I really do. And so, share with us. Thank you all. Y'all have a wonderful week. Bye.